Good morning. He's really tall. I'm Emily Began, and I'm currently a U of A senior applying to go to seminary to become a Presbyterian pastor. Throughout the process of applying, I've been asked several times about my calling and my hope in the Lord. Some people have miracles, epiphanies, or traumatic events that they identify as their calling to something or purpose in life. Others, like me, have heard him calling us over time to work in his name and spread hope in our own ways. I've been taking time to recall moments in which things seemed hopeless, but in which God was my light in the darkness and provided me with safety and warmth. One time that sticks out in my mind was in high school. I was a freshman sitting in 4th hour pottery class with a huge smile on my face. It was one of those days that I was smiling because I had no worries on my mind. That quickly changed as the girl next to me took issue with my smile. She asked me what I could possibly be so happy about. Truthfully, I had no idea. I didn't know any other way to answer except with, "God gave me a good day today." She was furious at my answer. She claimed that there is no God, and that I need to take back what I said. I didn't think such an answer would be so much trouble. I felt like this was some sort of test of God, like Peter had been tested on the day of Jesus' crucifixion. I tried to remain calm and simply said, "No." The girl grew more upset with my idea that God existed, and as time went on, she eventually told me to meet her after class. I knew what that meant, so I hightailed it out the door. She was too quick for me, though. She managed to rip off my backpack. I was struggling to get out of her grasp and refused to resort to violence. She got her fingers into the collar of my shirt, and I knew something was coming. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a popular boy in school grabbed her fist before it could hit my face, and he said, "God is real." She ran away, and he walked me to lunch. It was a small miracle that I'm never going to forget. My faith was tested that day, but because I held strong, I was given mercy. Hope and faith are funny things, and sometimes we don't know why we keep them. It is often said that in the worst times we drop our faith and turn away from God, but that was never quite so for me. It's in the worst of times that we need God the most. It's what faith is for. These past 6 months have been eventful for me this year. I've had to soul search quite a bit. I began in July, working at a juvenile prison as a therapist. Long story short, it was a much rougher place than I had thought. Once I finished up, I began losing dear people to death, and this brought me much grief, but made me consider using my therapy skills religiously to help those I love to cope with death, as well as, so I sought some advice. I was Fran Park's last counseling session before he passed. By this moment, I had lost 3 friends in a short time. I asked him if I'm really supposed to go to seminary, and how I'm supposed to know that for sure. He asked me how I felt about becoming a pastor. I told him, "I'm not that worthy." He replied, "Then you're perfect for the job." He explained that it was a calling from God, because he saw the strength of my faith and needed me to work through him for the people. Reverend Park inspired me and helped me to discover God's word. He passed away shortly thereafter, but something tells me that he had fulfilled his calling, and now it was time to start fulfilling mine. Just over a week ago, Christmas time, my grandfather passed away. The funeral was Christmas Eve. It was during this funeral that God taught me yet another lesson. Love is more powerful when it is shown in times of hardship than in times of happiness, and it mends things that are broken or left in the cold. I saw people that I had once quarreled with, and we found each other hugging, not out of grief, but of love. My grandfather's last wish was that I play taps at his funeral. As I put the horn to my lips at the seminary, I could feel him and the Lord watching all of us in this difficult time. It was then that I felt most ready to pursue the life of a minister. With such lessons learned, a will and a way, God had a mission for me, and I have chosen to accept it. God never leaves us. His actions are filled with reason, and that reason may be unclear to us at times, or forgotten. But I believe it is of love for his children. Faith is all we have at times. We never want to lose it, and I want to become someone that can help you find and keep yours, especially when times get tough. That is my hope and my calling. I would like to thank all of you that are here today and those who are normally with us. You have influenced this life decision more than you all know. Reverend Mack, Reverend Corbett, Kristen, Fran, Sarah, and Dr. Abram have all helped me along this path and helped me to make my ideas into reality. My mentor, Jim Stoll, and his wife, Carol, have always provided a torch in the darkness for me. The Hiltons have been like another family to me, and their hospitality and kindness is not something that I take for granted. My family and friends have also each fulfilled specific roles, and everyone I have met has had an impact on me. Thank you all for making my life story worth living, and I hope to make you proud as I venture into seminary this fall.